We still have 3.6 million births a year, but the problem is teens and young adults. From ages 15 to 19, the fertility rate is down 7%.
My mom behaved often as if she didn't like me at all. She had a very awful childhood.
I'm Marilyn. Most of my life, I didn't know who I was. This is a series about how I finally found the words to understand my journey. In the first part, I talked about my childhood. In this part, I'm going to dedicate it to my mother. Now, most of the stories I'm going to tell you, her recount. She told me these stories herself. My mother was from a very abusive home. Her father was the typical angry man who took out his anger on his wife and children. He abused his wife to the extent that he did irreparable damage to her. He abused his children to the extent he used starvation to put them in line. My mother recounted that her father was best known outside as a good caregiver, but inside the house he was a tyrant. My mother also recounted that one time she asked her father for school fees. She brought her friend home. Her father gave her friend the school fees and neglected her. That was the kind of setting she grew up in. She was hungry to the extent that she would go to other people's farms and steal. That's how hungry she was. My mother also recounted that she really did not spend a lot of time with her parents, but she was pawned off to different homes to serve as babysitter, as a maid. She recounted that she used to go to these places from a very, very young age. She also told me that she hawked and sold on the streets because she had to help one way or the other to make ends meet in the family. So she grew up really poor. My mother didn't also have a relationship with her own mother. She recounted that her parents used triangulation to make sure that the children fight for their love. Only those that are able to produce in terms of money, in terms of loyalty, are praised. If you do otherwise, you're shunned, you're criticized, castigated, you're hated upon. My mother was a typical hothead because she had to survive. Because of that yearning to survive, she went after my father, who was 20 years older than her. She thought he was going to be her source of comfort. But at the end of the day, my mother was no different from her own mother. I wasn't different from my mother at all. You get to see that as my story progresses. My mother got pregnant at 16 and she had me at 17. Now she was just a teenager. And teenagers, most of the time, haven't grown, so they embody the personality of other people. My mother embodied the personality of her own father. Her angry, abusive father. My mother was abusive. She blew hot and cold when I was a child. At age 11, she stole me away from my dad and I went to live with her. Now, being a single mother, coupled with the stress of survivor, being young, it came with its own challenges, which I am not going to talk about here, but I'm going to talk about how it affected me. I was scapegoated as a child because I'm the first, so I was scapegoated and my sister was the golden child. My mother used the same triangulation her parents used because she didn't know any better. Her father lived in her. Her father's abuse was echoed through her actions towards me, especially. I was like a mirror because I looked like my mother. My mother hated herself and she hated me in return. And that was how I grew up with her. I had a very tumultuous childhood with her. So many incidents, but I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on how our abuse lowered my self-esteem and took me to a trajectory that was similar to hers. Looking back at my life right now, I think I played also the life of my mother. I ran away from abuse, trying to survive, and I fell into the hands of someone who was older. But that I'm going to tell when it came to relationship. This is going to be a series, and a very long series at that. I and my mother were in a better place right now. We're no longer at loggerheads. I look at her with empathy because I had to trace, I had to go back. I had to go back because I understand what generational trauma is, what epigenetics is. How much trauma can be transmitted from generation to generation until they come a curse breaker. My life, looking back, has also taken the same trajectory as that of my mother, just that I didn't bring anyone into the shit show. I was never physically abused. But you see in the oncoming series how much I and my mother were alike. The next chapter is going to be my father, because I will not conclude this series or go ahead in this series without talking about the archetype, the patriarch that is my father, who is at the hem of the whole thing. All right.